Okay, so now I'll be discussing some new properties that you can manipulate to add either text or new HTML into your document using JavaScript. So in this case here, let's just say I have this container, right? And I wanted to add an extra paragraph, or I wanted to wipe out all of these paragraphs first and just add one paragraph. So one way to do this is to use the innerHTML property. So let me just show you how this works. So first of all, I wanted to get the container, right? By using the ID selector, I can use query selector here, the more modern approach. I'm just going to use the old fashioned way. So let container equals document.get element by ID, document.get element by ID. What's the ID of our element here? It's container. There we go. So we just put container here as an argument. Now I want to remove all these paragraphs, or I just want to inject a new paragraph here. What I do is I just say container dot, right, there's a property here called innerHTML. And I'm just going to go here. I'm going to put a new paragraph. So here I'm just going to go like this, like a string, right? You have to put a string here. And I'm going to go P, and I'm going to go our new paragraph. So this allows us to inject a new paragraph here, and see, let's just see what happens. See our new paragraph, and everything else got wiped out. Why did it get wiped out? Because we use an assignment operator. What if I don't want it all to get wiped out and I just want to put a new paragraph? I could just say plus equals. Remember, plus equals means that I'm taking whatever's inside and I'm appending, I'm adding to it, right? And so if I save this and I refresh now, see that? Now it's the fourth paragraph. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's our new paragraph, and we use .innerHTML, and you can see how dangerous this can be, right? We are not changing the text at all here. We are just injecting a new stuff into our document. I mean, certainly we can use this to make lists and so forth and so on. List items. We can also add h1 tag. So for example, h1, and I can just say here, new section, for example. Of course, this remember, this has to be a string. This has to be a concatenated string, and I could always add a new horizontal rule, for example, horizontal rule, and then I could say here the age. Actually, let me just do this in a paragraph. So the age is, and then go P here. Then I'm just going to say age plus age here. And let me define age here as a variable. So let age equals 19, for example. So the age is this. Then I can just go 19. And then this is called concatenation. Remember when I'm using this plus sign here, concatenating as a single string. There you go. Horizontal rule. The age is concatenation. And then I'm using, then it's 19 here. So that's how that would work, which is pretty cool. So you could just add new HTML elements in this way, or you could use .create, which we'll look at later. But now let's just say I wanted to change the text here of a given element. So button, for example, I just say click me. Okay. So we have this button here, and I want you to change the actual text of the button, just the text only. I could just say here document.get elements. I'm just going to get it by the tag name, elements by tag name, and it's button, of course, just the tag name. And then it has to be at 0, remember, because it's an array. So it's 0, that will be the first button that appears on the page. And then I'm going to say that innerText equals next or something. Next, see what happens here. refresh. There we go. Now we've changed the text of this button to next. The same thing happens with text content, but with text content, we can also pass in these tags, but without actually passing in without changing the document itself, right? Without adding a new paragraph tag, right? You just put it as a text, as an actual text. Let me just show you how this would work. So I could just go here, text content. You notice that it will do the same. So let's just say next page, for example, just to differentiate. There we go. It says next page. But what if I were to say here H1? If I go here H1, now you'll notice the difference between this and innerHTML. H1. And notice that it doesn't actually put in a new type of tag. It just goes H1.